So Rita and I were at a dinner. We were sort of sitting in an area that was a little elevated above the rest of the room. And one of us said to the other, "There is a hell of a lot of gray hair in this room."
And I said, but the global transactional banking future really depends on the future leaders that comes after us. So we have to do something about it. And Craig said to me, well, why don't we form 30 under 30? And I said, bingo, that's a great idea.
So that was where this came from. We said, how can we, BAFT as an industry body, help our member institutions to make this business more interesting for the next generation? How can we help support our members, support their individual development? And that became the origin of the Future Leaders Program. 10 years later, here we are. I would say my goals are, one, to make sure that our members are happy that we're supporting the development of their future talent. Second is, I'd like to think that we can help that generation build a network that's going to help them succeed as they go through their careers. And third, very selfishly, is I'd love to see these people, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, being in love with BAFT the way our members are in love with BAFT, who have been doing this for quite some time.
So what I found fascinating was being surrounded by like-minded, ambitious, and interesting people. We all had so much in common, yet very diverse in our perspectives. I couldn't make it through the lobby to my room without meeting so many friends from the prior years. So absolutely, I've been so privileged to make friendships that have lasted a decade plus. I've found myself sitting across my future leader alumni friends in many business meetings in various parts of the world. Some of the skills that I hope that the many classes post my graduation and in the future glean from this program is find your people, surround yourself with successful people, seek out mentors, seek out the peers that will grow your own network.
My experience in last year's Future Leader class helped me develop as a leader. I was able to stand on my own 2 feet and to be able to drive initiatives within the bank. As a result, I wanted to contribute to someone's journey through the mentor role, and I sincerely hope that I have positively influenced this year's class of 2025.
There are multiple reasons why I love working in the transaction banking industry. I loved it from the first day I joined and I still love it today. Every day is different, so it throws up its different complex challenges. Being in the sales side of things, I love closing a transaction and the buzz and the feeling that gives to you. And finally, just the people. It's great to see them at industry events such as BAFT, and that really does make the difference.
for me, the most important part of BAFT is the networking, and it's the community you start forming afterwards. The amount of connections and visibility you get, I think that's the best added value of the program.
I have excellent memories and still in touch with some of my team members actually in Asia, because actually one of them is in Singapore and the other is in Hong Kong, and I'm still sometimes having a look at what we wrote, because they are still very relevant information. We're dedicating time of experts, right? Like people specialized in transaction and transaction banking to explore topics that were not necessarily mainstream at that time.
Sky's the limit, right? And the future of the program, as I said, I'm great to see that it's still happening, that people like you are participating, that the brightest are participating into BAFT Future Leaders program. It's invaluable, the experience you will get, and so I wish you all the best on your future journey.
So we started to talk about what are different organizations doing to help not only build a pipeline of talent and leadership in the industry, but what are we collectively doing to try to make the industry interesting for people who at the time were seen as being much more interested in going down a technology track or fintech companies and things of that nature. The pandemic obviously was difficult for everyone. We had to really rethink how do we do everything. And so the Future Leaders Program, one of the benefits of it is that it is largely virtual. So we thought we could continue to deliver the programming, but the difficult part for those, I think, 2 program years was that they weren't able to meet in advance.
When I went through the program, our topic was my biggest challenge. We were looking at distributed ledger technology and transaction banking applications. And the most important takeaway from that experience was that I wasn't there to challenge or disagree with my cohort. I had to challenge myself to look for meaningful solutions for our industry. Another significant takeaway was being open to challenge and being able to accept that my personal views and opinions can and should be challenged. Being flexible when warranted, conscious of impact of how my perspective can hinder or foster finding the right solutions.
So the person to be motivated. Transaction banking within FIs, it's about expertise. So future leader must show that they are experts, they can share their expertise, they can bring a better expertise listening to the others. So technical expertise is one key goal from future leaders.
The most successful companies will be those who can train young people who are starting their careers and figure out ways to build team morale when people are now sitting globally and may not be together in a way that we were traditionally.
A good balance between understanding the underlying flows and what the business is all about, but at the same time also has got deep knowledge with regard to the technical side.
It's about more bringing people together and making sure that everyone feels valued and encouraged to share their ideas.
I'd like you to be ambassadors of BAFT and ambassadors of the program.
Over the past decade, the Future Leaders Program has built a strong foundation. Now we look to the future. We have asked the leaders of today and tomorrow to give their views on the future of the program and the transaction banking space in one word:
exciting,
expertise,
sustainability,
better.
I would say inquisitive,
Limitless,
community,
Promising,
engaging, fun,
Go for it.
thrilling,
can I take the opportunity to just pass a message to all of you in the Future Leaders Program for 2025 and others to come. My strongest recommendation to all of you and your senior executive sponsors is to fully embrace the opportunity to be a member of the Future Leaders Program. It will make a difference at a personal level. It will change your career, guaranteed, and collectively is the future of the industry. So take it serious because it has that potential. All the best.